Thomas Adrian Tommy Sands, born August 27, 1937, is an American pop music singer and actor, working in show business as early as 1949. Sands became an overnight sensation and instant teen idol when he appeared on Kraft Television Theater in January 1957 as the Singin Idol. The song from the show, Teenage Crush, reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on Cashbox. Early life. Sands was born into a musical family in Chicago, Illinois. His father was a pianist and his mother a big band singer. He moved with the family to Shreveport, Louisiana. He began playing the guitar at 8 and within a year had a job performing twice weekly on a local radio station. At the beginning of his teen years, he moved to Houston, Texas, where he attended Lamar High School and joined a band with Jimmy Lee Durden and the Junior Cowboys, consisting of Sands, Durden, and Billy Reno. They performed on the radio, at county fairs, and did personal appearances. He was only 15 when Colonel Tom Parker heard about him and signed him to RCA Records. Career. Sands' initial recordings achieved little in the way of sales, but in early 1957 he was given the opportunity to star in an episode of Kraft Television Theater. He played the part of a singer who was very similar to Elvis Presley, with guitar, pompadour hair, and excitable teenage fans. On the show, his song presentation of a Joe Allison composition called Teenage Crush went over big with the young audience and released as a single by Capitol Records. It went to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 record chart and number 1 on the Cashbox chart. It became a gold record. His track, The Old Oaken Bucket, peaked at number 25 on the UK singles chart in 1960. His sudden fame brought an offer to sing at the Academy Awards show and his teen idol looks landed him a motion picture contract to star in a 1958 musical drama called Sing, Boy, Sing, the feature film version of The Singin' Idol. About this time, he also appeared on an episode of The Ford Show, starring Tennessee Ernie Ford. His pioneering contribution to the genre has been recognized by the Rockabilly Hall of Fame. In 1961 he and Annette Funicello sang the Sherman Brothers title song from the Walt Disney release of The Parent Trap. During the 1960s Sands served in the U.S. Air Force Reserves. Acting. Sands plays a young man struggling with growing up and becoming a man on an episode of Zane Grey Theater titled The Promise. The episode aired on November 8, 1957. Sands performed in several films including Sing, Boy, Sing, the feature film version of The Singin' Idol, 1958, Mardi Gras, 1958, Babes in Toyland, 1961, The Longest Day, 1962, Ensign Pulver, 1964, and None But the Brave, 1965, playing a Marine second lieutenant and directed by Frank Sinatra. But both his singing and film career had faded by the 1970s. He does still make sporadic public appearances as a singer. Sands appeared in the 1960 episode of Wagon Train, The Larry Hanafi Story. On May 14, 1963, Sands appeared, along with Claude Akins and Jim Davis, in Trapped, one of the last episodes of NBC's Laramie Western series. In the storyline, series character Slim Sherman, John Smith, finds an injured kidnap victim in the woods, portrayed by Mona Freeman. Dennis Holmes, as series regular Mike Williams, rides away to seek help, but the kidnappers reclaim the hostage. Slim pursues the kidnappers but is mistaken as a third kidnapper by the girl's father, played by Barton McLean. Sands plays the girl's boyfriend, who had been ordered by her father to stop seeing her. Later in 1963, Sands joined Peter Falk in The Gus Morgan Story on ABC's Wagon Train. They appear as brothers who disagree on the route for a railroad that Gus, played by Falk, is building through snow-covered mountains. Sands, as Ethan Morgan, accidentally shoots wagon master Chris Hale, played by John McIntyre, while the brothers are in the mountains looking at route options. Gus makes the decision to leave Hale behind, even choking him and believing that Hale is dead. Ethan has been overcome with oxygen deprivation and needs Gus's assistance to reach safety down the mountain. Unbeknownst to the Morgans, Hale crawls down the mountain through snow determined to obtain revenge against Gus. In time though, Hale comes to understand the difficult choice made by Morgan, and the brothers reconcile their own differences. This episode is remembered for its examination of how far a man will persist amid adversity to preserve his own life and his brother's. In 1965, Sands guest starred playing the role as Private Carey on the television series Combat, starring Vic Morrow in Season 3. Episode 19, More Than a Soldier, Out of Ammo. Saunders is holed up with terrified young Private Carey. Tommy Sands, a pacifistic draftee who can't bring himself to fire on their pursuer, a relentless German sergeant. Quote, Sands appeared twice on the NBC education drama, Mr. Novak, starring James Franciscus in the title role. He had a guest role in the 1968 episode No Blue Skies and the 1975 episode Hit Gun for Sale of Jack Lord's police drama, Hawaii Five-0. Personal life. Tommy Sands and singer Nancy Sinatra married in 1960 and divorced in 1965. His career had declined significantly by 1965. Triggering speculation that Frank Sinatra had him blacklisted in the entertainment industry. After the divorce, such reports were denied by both Sands and Sinatra. In 1974, Sands married Sheila Wallace, a secretary, in Honolulu, where he had relocated in an attempt to revive his career. Filmography. Film. Television. My Love Song, Ring-a-Ding-Ding, Capital 1957. Go Unsteady, Ring My Phone, Capital 1957. Sing Boy Sing, Crazy, 'Cause I Love You, Capital 1957. After the Senior Prom, Big Date, Capital 1958. I'll Be Seeing You, That's the Way I Am, Capital 1959. The Old Oaken Bucket, These Are the Things You Are, Capital 1960. A Young Man's Fancy, Connie, Capital 1963. U.S. LP discography. Steady Date with Tommy Sands, Capital 848. 1957. Sing Boy Sing, Capital 929. 1958. Sandstorm, Capital 1081. 1958. This Thing Called Love, Capital 1123. 1959. When I'm Thinking of You, Capital 1239. 1959. Sands at the Sands, Capital 1364. 1960. Live, Dream With Me, Capital 1426. 1960. Babes in Toyland, Buena Vista 3913 4020 seconds. 1961. Soundtrack. The Parent Trap, Vista 3309. 1961. Soundtrack. Seasons in the Sun, Superscope 3A009. 1969. Tommy Sands on Internet Movie Database. Interview with Tommy Sands. Tommy Sands interview at Elvis 2001. Net.